We're going to be doing acrylic painting on an 8x10 canvas. Let's get started. I'm mixing a little bit of marine blue with gesso. Gesso is a white, loose paint. And we're just gonna, scumble in a little bit of sky. Just keep the blue off to the sides and a little bit across the top. I'm gonna wash my brush. I'm gonna take just plain white right in here. I'm gonna take a touch of yellow. I don't want too much. In fact, I'm gonna wipe my brush off and just mix that. Don't get it mixed in with the blue. You don't want a green sky. Then I'm gonna go in, touch a little alizarin crimson, touch of the gesso, and around there, just a touch. Just picking up more paint. This is just plain gesso right here now. Okay, just cleaning my brush off a little bit. Not even washing it. And just kind of lightly blend those together. And then go back into our whites and our blues. Bring that down a little bit. Just clean my brush off a little bit. Just sort of mixing them together a little bit. I'm gonna wash my brush fairly decent. And just kind of lightly go across. Get rid of some of the brush marks. Don't care if I have a few in. Pick up a little more of that white. I'm gonna make it a little bit brighter right in here. And on my finger, I'll pick up yellow. I might have a little touch of alizarin in it, but not much. I'm just gonna make a circle there. Looks like we have the sun's out. Okay, let's just pull that yellow away from it. Looks good. I'm gonna pick up some of my heavier whites, my titanium white. I'm just scumbling a few clouds in. We went over here. And then as I run out of paint, I'm gonna come down, sort of blend it down a little bit. Sort of blend the bottom of those clouds out. I pick a little more of that white up. Add just a tab of the alizarin crimson. And maybe I'll have a couple. Let me get a little more white. Some stringy clouds coming across the sun. And maybe a few right here on the horizon. Okay, let me get this. That looks pretty good. Well, maybe one up here. just starting to come across the sun. Okay, I'm going to take my blues, my alizarin crimson, get that lavender color. Might add just a touch of the green, not much. Keep it more lavender. That's just gonna, just the green is just to dull it down a little. And you can test your color by adding a little bit of the white to it off to the side. As you can see, I'm just testing the color a little bit off to the side. A little bit of white. Clean my brush. Okay. Take some of that color up. I'm gonna add just a touch. Not much, just a touch of the white. I'm gonna keep it fairly dark though. And we're just gonna, just some hills back here. Just kind of rolling hills. I'll clean my brush just slightly. Add a little bit of the gesso to it. Underneath that color. Just touching the color. I don't want to disturb those tops. And I'm just kind of dragging that color through. And going straight across. And a little bit there. Just look like there's some hills or something up there in the back. I'm gonna go into my greens. Just sort of drag some of that color there. I'm gonna get into the darker, a little bit darker. I'm gonna kind of open those bristles just a little, just like that. Kind of lift up a little bit. Not much, just it's like something's growing back there. It's going across. I'm gonna add just a little bit of the yellows to that. I'm just gonna kind of, maybe a touch of the white and yellow. Yeah, I want to get a, just kind of tapping across. If your paint doesn't come off, just add a little bit of water to it. Okay. I'll pick up a little bit of the yellow ochre. It looks like the sun reflecting down. I'm going to keep working down here, down the center. And I'll just sort of back to my dark greens over here. I'll bring some of those dark greens, lift up a little. And it looks like another plane coming in. Just, it sort of pushes everything over here back. And just keep working. You can see how my brush is loaded on one side here. I'm just going to flip it over. use the paint on the other side of the brush. And take just a touch of that yellow ochre, maybe a little light coming across there. And we're going to do the same pretty much on the other side. Some of that dark color. And like I said, you can flip that brush over. Use all that paint. Okay, go in. A touch of blue for that color. A little bit of yellow. Just give it a little different. Maybe. Oh, let's see. I'm going to use the corner, just the corner tip of that brush. I'm going to kind of just, I'm pushing up. You got a big old tree or some kind of bush. And you can leave spaces in there. You'll be able to see the sky through the sections of these trees. Take up a little more green. Bring it down. Just tap in. This one's kind of going straight in so that it's sort of more leafy, more open. Tree here. It kind of frames your painting. There you go. Add a little bit of that feathery. Okay, I'm going to take a little bit of my green and my bright red. Mix them together, makes a nice little brown. Add some water to that, get it nice and runny, about the consistency of ink. And then I'm going to add a little more. A little more runny. Okay, let's start down here. And basically we're gonna put some branches, some tree trunks in here. Something. We can even put a few twigs or something growing over here. Maybe a branch comes off over here. We can do the same thing the other side. And if you skip a spot, that's fine, because we're going to put highlights over it. You're not going to see the full trunk and branches of that tree. Let's give it a little bigger foots there. Yeah, let's give them something up here. Okay, clean that brush. Back to our regular brush we've been using. I'm going to go in a little bit of the greens and with the yellows, the yellow ochre, the cadmium yellow. And then I'm going straight in. Just, yeah. I'll put it everywhere. I want to keep some of the darks. And just there. This one, just not a lot, just okay. I think I'm gonna pick up just a touch of the red, same dirty brush, and then maybe down here put a couple different color bushes there with just a little different color. Okay, gonna clean that brush. And as you notice, acrylics, they do start drying darker. If you're using watercolor, they dry lighter. Acrylics darker. If you're using oil paints, whatever color you put on, that's the color you will see. So, back into my yellows and greens. I'm gonna add a little grasses down here. I'm leaving a little bit of that dark. It's a separator from one plane to the next. Pick up a little more green. I got a shadow coming through here. And you can use a bigger brush if you want. And just this one's been working pretty good for me. I'll flip that over. And then I'm gonna clean that brush. I'm just gonna pick up a little bit of the blue, a little bit of the gesso. Right in here, maybe we got a little pond. Not gonna have a big lake, just maybe a little pond sitting here. And I'm gonna take some of the heavier titanium white, just kind of run that through here. Just gonna wipe that brush off a little, not even cleaning it. Just gonna pull some of that, a little bit of that color down, not much. And I'm gonna clean my brush, dry it real good. When I go across, I want to keep it fairly straight, and I mean, I don't want to put any pressure. I just want to blur that out a little bit. And then I'm going to pull that out a little bit. Okay. So back to my greens. Touch of the yellows. And then I'm just kind of just want to get rid of that white. We'll come in. Add a little touch of blue there. Basically, I just cover it right now. I'm just covering the white. We'll put something over that. Get a little bit of and I'm just back to the greens. Now I'm just sort of holding the brush so it's just flat. Just kind of bouncing around right here. Pick up a few yellows. side. Just a little bit out into the water, not much. I'm gonna clean my brush a little bit. I'm gonna pick up some of the gesso, white gesso, and some of the yellow ochre. And now we're going to start laying in the highlights. I started just below that dark green. I'm moving up to it. And the reason I did that is I still want it a little darker up here. And by moving up into it, you can see how it's keeps picking up the color and darkening on my brush. And yet it's still lighter down here. You come below. Back into my whites and my yellows. I think I'll pick up a little bright yellow. And some of that brighter yellow right down the center, because that's where the sun is. Yeah, and we got our sun out and got a nice shadow coming across. Okay, back into the yellow ochre. I'm going to do the same here, work my way up to that darker. It's still wet, so we'll pick up some of that. Pick up a touch of the red. All that. Gonna maybe put a bush, something in over here. Just plain. Let's get a second bush here. Maybe one here. And then we'll just if you see any hard spots, you can just sort of, if you keep tapping, you'll get almost like velvet. It's just real smooth. And I still got a little bit of red, so you can see a little bit of the red popping up here. I'm gonna pick up a little here. So you can see all the different planes as it comes down. I'm going to clean my brush. Just pick up pure red. I want something bright. I want a real bright bush over here in this corner. Go pick up some of my darks, some of the greens, and maybe underneath. Bring that in. That brown I made with the green and the red, I'm going to pick up just a little. See how sharp my edge of my brush is? I'm just kind of putting a little bit of a shoreline back there. Touch of the white. And just break that up a little bit. Go back to my greens. Just on the top a little. I'm going to set it down a little bit. Right here, I can see it. All right. Go back to my browns. just made that with the greens and the bright red. And I got my brush real sharp. And I think I'm gonna pull that through one side white, deep brown on the other side. And I'm just gonna start real thin. Bring a tree right in there. And you know what? I think we'll put a little limb on that. And we're gonna do a little bigger. Flip down here. And let's see. Maybe. Maybe we'll just make them a little, you know, a little wider. You want a nice strong tree. And go back to our twiggy brush into the browns. Drag one side through white. Put some limbs on there. I think we need a little more brown here. And if you're a little shaky, that's fine. Branches grow everywhere. And if we push down a little harder, no, maybe. Out there. Let's do this sort of. And that looks good. Okay. Back to my regular brush here. I'm just going to add a touch of water to that. I'm just kind of stopping that in there. Let's see. Add some white to that. Brighten it up. Maybe we got a nice little bright bush here by that tree. Kind of hide the edge of that pond. Tap a little bright red in it. Maybe it's got, oh, some flowers growing on the edge. Take a twiggy brush and drag the bottom out a little. Got a nice little bush there. And let's see. How about a nice brush over here? And I just darkened it a little bit with some of the greens and setting it down. I add a touch of white to that red. Looks like it's got, oh, it's in flower. And I'm gonna go kind of look over and see what you need. This looked like it got a little dark here, so I'm just taking white and my yellow ochre. I want a little bright color thing in through here. Not much. Just wiping some of that color off my brush here and tapping that in. fact, I think I'm gonna wipe that brush off real dry. Didn't really wash it, just dried it off, and just kind of, if you keep tapping it, it'll kind of smooth in. I'm gonna take a little bit of the darker yellow ochre. Get a little bit of the sun. I'll even pull a little bit. Tap my brush in there. Just pull a little bit up. There. Put some highlights where that sun is hitting it. In fact, I think I'm going to pull my brush through a little white. Let's see. A few little streaks through there. Just because that's where the sun is coming. And back into my yellows and my white. I want a little highlights through here. In fact, you know what? I want to grab some of my browns. Maybe you can see a little dirt through there. I want to darken a little shadow underneath that bush. I'm just going to tap. Pick up a little more of the yellows. Yellow ochre. And kind of, maybe there's some dirt there. I think we're just about done. We'll take some dark colors, our alizarans, our greens, our blues, whatever's dark. We're gonna go in here, and this is dry, so I'm going to lay my finger on the canvas and there's 1, 2, oh, let's give it 3 birds flying in. I think we're done. I'm just going to sign our name here. I either need a shorter name or more paint. And I think we're finished with that one. That shows you can even do a painting with basically just the flat brush and a little twiggy brush. And truthfully, we didn't put the birds in or do some of the detail we could have done without that one. But we're all set.